That means we have to find the right sanskars. As Baba said, the natural nature of the soul is to be good, to be peaceful, to be loving, to be happy. But also we have to make sure that we're able to interact with others so that my nature actually harmonizes with someone else's nature. It's not that if I'm in a deeper state, what will happen is that I will be able to influence others towards their own deeper state. But if I'm not, then I can't. So today, Baba said in actually the song from today's Morley, this morning's Morley, was, don't forget the days of your childhood. And what we did today, we looked at the whole question of happiness and the sanskars of happiness. And of course, everything we know starts with gyan. So what is the happiness that we get from knowing the soul? I think everyone will have some insight. It's really interesting to explore. The soul, knowing that I'm a soul, how does that make me happy? How does that make me able to access my best sanskars and put them into practice, right? So there's the whole part about knowing the soul, because it's actually soul consciousness which opens up the deeper part of me. It's not really just a question of fasting and avoiding, let's say, things. But on the other side, I have to develop the sanskars that I have. I have to avoid certain ones, as Baba was saying in the extract from the Morley, the fast. But on the other side, I have to very consciously identify and develop my best sanskars, which are in me. So the knowledge of the soul opens up a part of that, because I know how the soul works. I know that I have these sanskars within me of peace, love, happiness, and so on. I have them there. They are, therefore, theoretically at least, accessible. But I have to have Baba's help to really go down deep into the soul. And everything really, as Didi was saying yesterday, everything really starts with awareness. So we were remembering our childhood. We were remembering when we first came into Gyan. And what was the knowledge of the soul? How did that help me? What was the impact that it had on my worldview, for example? How I saw others, how I saw myself. Of course, it has a huge impact. It's like a revolution in the soul, just by knowing these things. And then the second question, of course, is what happiness do I get? What access do I get to the goodness that's in me by knowing God? How does that help me? Because suddenly I have a mirror in front of me. And it's as if Baba actually doesn't give us peace or happiness or love. What he does, through our connection with him, that connection itself activates these sanskars, our original sanskars from the home, and also the original sanskars here in this world. They become activated. And by becoming activated, I can start to put them into my thoughts, words, and actions. And then the third question we did was, okay, what's the happiness we get from knowing the soul? What's the happiness we get from knowing God? And then the third one is deeper, more deeper, is what's the happiness we get from knowing and understanding the drama? So knowing and understanding the soul is comparatively easy, though we still have to work a lot. Knowing and accessing God is not so easy, because Baba is so subtle. Baba is just a point of light, right? I can work in soul consciousness, moving my body around. That's relatively easy. But to keep the connection with Baba while I'm doing things, that is a bit slippery. We all know that. So even Brahma Baba sometimes says it's really difficult. I'm eating and then I forget, or I'm taking a bath and I forget. But the third one, to understand really deeply the drama, is probably the thing that, as we say in English, nails it. It makes it clear. It's sort of definitive. And so what happens is that when I'm soul conscious, let's say if we look at the soul over the whole cycle, it has, at this moment, has all of the sanskars recorded in it. The ones that we had in the past, in our ancient past, in the golden and silver ages, they are there in us. And we also have the present ones and the future ones too. So all of our sanskars are at this moment present, not just in me, but in everyone else. And I have to really understand that. Because when I become body conscious, I am only able to access the sanskars of my body conscious births, or rather, copper and silver ages. We know the vices in their subtle forms are more from copper age, more or less, right? And the vices in their more gross form from Iron Age. So we do have all of those at this moment. I mean, we have this library of sanskars. And to get along with others, to work with others, to live with others, I first of all, Baba says, I have to understand myself. And it's not just understanding, I have to have the awareness of who I am. And I have to have the awareness of these treasures inside of me. So when I am soul conscious, I suddenly have access to all of my sanskars, and especially the original ones and the ones from the beginning part of the cycle. If I'm soul conscious, the door opens. If I again become body conscious, I can't access those original sanskars, the natural sanskars of the soul. I can only do that when I'm aware of who I am and what I am. And of course, there's a whole lot of details in that, and that's the sort of homework we get every day. Like Baba said, well, Baba will say in tomorrow's Murli, that if you're body conscious, that's as if you are dead. Well, another time Baba said, karma without yoga is like a body without a soul. So it's similar. When I become body conscious, I become spiritually dead. So I can't access the best in me when I'm body. It's like shuts the door completely. And when I become soul conscious, understanding the cycle, understanding the wealth that I have in me. I mean, I have all of the qualities. And my divine virtues are only present in the golden and silver ages. After that, I may have virtues, but they're not divine virtues. They're just sort of body, you could say that they're virtues under the control of the ego. So I become sweet because it's interesting for me. I become loving because it's, that will open up something for me. So there's a lot of ego in the use of the virtues when we are body conscious. Even they are virtues. The people we know, people come to the center, and they seem to be more virtuous than some Brahmins we know. We can see it. But it's when they start to face themselves at a deeper level, then we really know how they are and what they are. But the same with me. I have to cultivate silence as a very, very regular and consistent practice. That means I have to, but it's really only necessary to speak when I need to speak. Otherwise, I can just stay quiet. And that is a consistent attention that we have to have. Basic state is silence. And when I have to say something or do something, I come out of it and do it. That's what Baba wants us to be like. But I can only have that sort of ease of coming in and going out of silence if I really consciously develop self-consciousness. Secondly, I have to keep the perspective of the cycle. My cycle and other people's cycle. If I understand drama, for example, I understand that everyone has a role. I have my role to play. No one is to blame, and also no one is innocent, because karma is coming and being settled. People have become what they are. And so I keep the perspective of the cycle, mine and others. So in that way, having a fuller picture, past, present, and future, mine and the other person's, I can harmonize better. Third thing I have to do, I have to eliminate labels. It's as if in our minds we have a gallery where we have different people. I remember once Baba said, our heads should have a population of 2. That means me and Baba, no one else. There shouldn't be a third person as a habitant of our heads. So all of the people, if there are people in my mind, like the people that I work with and live with, probably they are sitting there labeled. So-and-so is like this, so-and-so is like that. We do this as sort of a means of protection. This one does this one does that, this one has this defect, this one has that virtue. So I have to visit that gallery and remove the labels, because no one is what I think they are. And people are and I'm even not what I think I am. There's a deeper definition of the soul. So I have to make sure that my definition of myself is similar to how Baba defines me, how Baba sees me. Then I can start to work with that. Fourth thing, don't compare. Don't compare. If you want to get along with others and work with others, well, don't compare. Because it's like comparing an apple and an orange. An apple is an apple, an orange is an orange. They're the only thing they have in common, they are fruits. But they're not the same. They have different characteristics. In one of the sessions, I'm going to go deeper into this. But don't compare, it's a useless practice. I'm neither better or worse than anyone else. I'm just different. I have some things in common. The best thing is that we have in us, we have in common, like the love, the peace. We have these original qualities in common, but our personalities and our interests are different. So we are fruits, but we are some of us oranges, some of us are pineapples, some of us are apples, like that. And the fifth thing is to appreciate more than, appreciate virtues, and without, everyone has something. Everyone has something. There's a diamond there in everyone. Even if you look at a diamond when it's, just in the sand, in the riverbed, it just looks like a piece of quartz. It's when you polish it up and cut it that it starts to shine. So I have to appreciate the diamonds in people rather than the stones. That's what Baba wants us to be. And Baba wants us to really, as I said in the beginning, cultivating silence. That means I will speak less. I will speak less. I will show more than I say. By example, and I don't need to say much. And if I say little, then people probably will pay attention, because, and especially if I concentrate on making sure that what I say is useful, people will probably pay attention. But if I'm speaking all the time, and this is what Baba says, people don't pay attention. And finally, I'm not the teacher of anyone. I'm not the mother of anyone. I'm not the guru of anyone. I'm a student together with everyone else. And we are studying together and we have one teacher. So these are sort of things that seem maybe obvious to you, but they help us to, first of all, make sure that we're getting the best out of our understanding of soul, God, and drama. And secondly, they're helping us to get along with others, to work with others, to live with others. So just everything starts, as Didi said yesterday, starts with awareness. And if I'm soul conscious, I have the doors open to my best sanskars. And if I'm body conscious, as Baba will say tomorrow, I'm dead. I'm dead to the best in me. So let's have some meditation now.